Hey family, God bless everybody. So I wanted to share this dream with you guys because the Lord put it on my heart to get this out as soon as possible in light of the things that may or may not be happening tomorrow with this whole drill that's supposed to be happening in New York. And if you don't know that a lot of catastrophes have happened around the quote-unquote drills. So in this dream, it gave me a feel of urgency of things to come. So hopefully, prayerfully, this is not something that will be occurring tomorrow, but either way, I feel as though that it was a good time to share this. And I haven't really had any time to look this over because I just had it last night, so I'm probably not going to give much interpretation in this dream or in this video. So, but I definitely wanted to share this real quick. So, I mean, it was kind of exciting in a way, but so anyway, let me just get to this dream. So, it started off, I was with some people at a place like a school, and the weird thing was I couldn't talk for some reason. For whatever reason, I couldn't like vocalize, like talk. So, but I was still trying to communicate with people by hand signs and things like that. So I wasn't doing sign language, but I was moving my hands around and pointing at things, trying to communicate with people. So I don't remember exactly what happened in the beginning, but something happened that I got angry about or I got frustrated with, and I punched the wall in this building, in this school, and this woman that was in charge there saw me. And she saw this as me being violent and out of control. So she sought to ship me off somewhere outside of school. So we all got into this car at this point, and it was like a station wagon, I guess you can say, but it was, I know it was a lot of room in this car because there was a lot of people in this car. So it was the woman that was in charge of the school driving, and then there were a bunch of other people that were from the school in the car with me, and for whatever reason Superman was in this car too, or some superhero that was like Superman. So there was this girl that was in the car, and she kept trying to talk to me about something. She kept trying to say something to me, but I don't know why, but it seemed like she didn't like me or something like that, and she wanted to get rid of me. So we had stopped at this planet. Like, I wasn't really paying attention as we were driving, where we were traveling to, or how we even got there, but the car had stopped and we got at this planet. So the picture you see right now is kind of similar to what I saw in this dream. So when we got to this planet, it was kind of dark out, but it was very colorful in the sky like it is in this picture. And the video doesn't really do it justice, but like there were different colors in the sky, and I could see space. And I kept thinking, at first before I got out the car, I was thinking that I wasn't sure if I'd be able to breathe, if there was any oxygen in the air. But for whatever reason, I just opened the door and got out anyway. But where we had parked at, there were all these different beings standing around, and I was unsure at first. Like I was hesitating to get out because I wasn't sure if like it was a good idea for me to go over, or if I was going to like die from not being able to breathe. But I could breathe once I got out the car, and everybody in the car was like yelling for me not to leave and not to go over there, but I had went anyway because I felt like they were just like they were scared, but I wasn't scared. So I went over, and when I walked over to these people, like they gave me this good feeling, like not a good feeling, but they felt it. I felt like they could help me. I felt like they were going to be able to help me because I like I said, these people and this lady that was driving the car and this girl that was in the car, they were trying to like get rid of me for whatever reason. So, but I felt like they would be able to help me. And what they look like, they look kind of like, I want to say they were aliens, but I know if I say that, if I give them that description, then immediately everybody is gonna off the back think of demons and satanic aliens. But it wasn't like that. I'm trying to explain it. It was like when I say alien, I mean as though I knew that they were not human. They weren't human beings, but I did not feel as though they were evil, and I did not get, there was no evil, I did not discern evilness coming from any of them. What I discerned from them was that they were more like, I kept thinking like postmen, and I kept thinking, like when you go to the airport and you see people that are being picked up, like if there's like chauffeurs or something there to pick somebody up, and they have like signs for that person to come over to them. This is exactly what they reminded me of, and I knew, I felt as though that they were waiting for people to come there. They were each waiting for a specific person, and they were all standing around looking out in different directions. So I went over to one of them, and I started talking to him. Well, not like talking, because I still couldn't talk at this point, but I was like trying to hand signal to him, and he started listening to me, and he was trying to figure out what I was saying. And as I was trying to tell him that this girl wanted to ship me away, and like I was pointing back at myself, like trying to tell him that it was me, she was trying to get rid of me. And in the backdrop, it was like this city. It looked kind of like what you see here, like that mountain that you see back there, and the little city that's under it. Like you could see that, and you could see the lights and everything. So I knew it was like a city back there. And we were standing almost on like a mountain or like a port where people would come and park and you know, whatever, drop things off or pick things up or something like that. So as I was telling this guy that this chick was they were trying to get rid of me, I felt that he understood what I was saying, but he knew that like it was me, and then he like nodded that he understood, and he walked off. So at this point, I saw, wait, I skipped the part. Before he knew that it was, or I knew that he understood it was me, he had pointed at Superman, and he said something about the girl trying to get rid of Superman. But then I had pointed, like I started waving all crazy, like, yeah, she's trying to get rid of somebody, but it's me. And that's when I was like pointing back at myself. And then he nodded as though he knew what I was saying, and he walked off. So then I saw my friend Brandon, and at this point I then could talk. And we were in this room, we were in this building now, and I told Brandon that guy, that alien guy that I was talking to, understood me. So what I also didn't mention was kind of what these guys look like. I just wanted to give a description of them real quick. So what they look like some of them had like multiple arms, and some of them were like different colors. Like the guy I was talking to, he was like purple, and he had like stripes going down his head to his back. And like at first I was kind of like, when I first saw them, I was like, I don't know if I should go over there because they look kind of funny, but they were cool though. So anyway, as I'm talking to my friend Brandon, and I told him that the guy understood me, and then we were in this building, and there were a lot of people that I knew standing around talking. Then all of a sudden there was this giant earthquake out of nowhere, and this building or giant boat, ship or something came bursting, crashing into this place that we were standing in, and it like took a whole bunch of people out, like killing them, and it like swung across the rooms, just knocking people out of the room wherever they went to their death or something. And I saw, at this point, like I wasn't in myself, but I saw myself, and I saw myself jump and grab onto like this part of the wall or door or something like that, and I was holding on to this door for dear life. And I was looking at what everybody was doing in this room, and they were all like trying to protect themselves or hide in this place in some way or form. And the building was falling down, and everything was coming apart. Then it stopped, and we were back to the moment before all this had started. Before this all had happened, and we were back like at the beginning where I was standing in this room. So I knew it was going to happen again at this point, but this time I was seeing majority of these people that were in the room when we first came in. They were all leaving, like they were standing in a line, like they were waiting, almost like you would see people stand in line to get on an airplane when airplanes boarding. So I saw this girl that I went to high school with, that I used to be friends with, named Nicole. But she was staring, she kept looking back at me for whatever reason. And it was almost like I could read her mind, or I could read her feelings. And I knew that she kept looking back at me because like she had feelings for me for whatever reason. But she looked different though. She, like, her eyes were very slanted, and they were wider. And like, as I knew that she had these feelings for me or whatever, and she was hoping that we could have have something together since things were starting over. And I then knew that time was being rewritten. So I had said to Brandon at this point, I was like, we're rewriting history here. And he was like, yeah. So I was very nervous for all this event that was about to happen, this catastrophe that was about to happen. And I had walked away saying that I just wanted it to hurry up and be over with. And everybody was like agreeing with me. So there were still a few people walking to board on to wherever they were boarding to leave. And I knew it would all start as soon as they were all out. So as soon as they were gone, it was like a pause for a moment, and it was just quiet. And the people that were left there for whatever reason, it was me, my friend Brandon, and then a few other people, and we were all just standing there anticipating this event that was about to happen. And as soon as it happened exactly like it happened the first time, this giant ship came bursting into the room, breaking the wall down. Everybody's like running to hide or go wherever they're trying to go to get to get some type of safety. And I remember exactly what I had did in the dream, or in the first time I saw this, and I jumped on this door of this closet, and I'm holding on to this door, hanging off of it from the top of it, as this ship is knocking stuff off, knocking walls down and tearing the room apart. And then the ship flies out of the room, and I'm like, I got down at that point, and I knew I just needed to survive all this chaoticness going on, all this chaos that was going on, and I was like trying to recreate the whole moment. And I went over to, after I got off this closet, then I went like behind, I saw Brandon standing behind these bunk beds, and I've said before, I keep having dreams every now and then about bunk beds, and I still don't understand what that means, but I know it represents something. So he's hiding behind the bunk beds, and there's people like hiding under beds and hiding behind walls, trying to just protect themselves and survive. And then the place started shaking. It started shaking a little bit, and things were like falling over. And then it really started shaking, and it was like this giant earthquake beginning, and everything was just falling apart violently. The building started falling. The ceiling was dropping. Things were just busting all over the place. And like I was just trying to keep myself from getting crushed, and then I woke up. So it was like craziness in this dream. But I know this, I feel like the part where I saw the people boarding has to do with rapture, or people being redeemed, saints being redeemed before great tribulation starts, or before judgment begins. Parts of God's wrath that's talked about in Revelation, which the great shaking that's supposed to become, that we all are understanding or being shown that's coming. Then the visitation, the trip going to this other planet and talking to these alien or beings that belong to this planet, that were waiting for people to come. They were waiting there for people, and I felt like they were postmen, which could also be, you could consider that being messengers. So I feel as though they might have represented angels. So and this was probably some type of heavenly realm, some heavenly place, some place in the heavens, because I've seen different places before where I'm in space, and you see all these beautiful colors and stars and stuff like that, and you can breathe for whatever reason. So it was just a really cool dream, but I wanted to share it because of the catastrophe that happened in the upcoming events that I know are coming. And then this whole idea of time travel and reversing history and things like that have been coming up in God's messages to me lately too. So I wanted to point that out. But either way, we should definitely pray that evil does not come about of this supposed drill that's supposed to happen tomorrow, and whatever God's will is going to be done. So, but God forbid anything happen horrific to anybody tomorrow. So God bless you guys. I love you, and I'll talk with you soon.